everybody, this is Ghost from Blades and Blasters. Might know me from running the Gutter Blades campaign, from playing a few different other games that are run on the group. I just decided to record this video to sort of show the character creation process for Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay. They do a decent job of explaining it in the book, so it's really not that hard to grasp, but some people would learn it better by seeing it done than just doing it on their own. So here we are at the character creation page in the core rulebook. We've got the overview here. First step, choose your race. So you've got 4 races in Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay. That is dwarfs, elves, humans, and halflings. Each of them, if you're familiar with Warhammer at all, they have their own different fluff and certain mechanics and role-playing hints here, like halflings speak fast, use lots of slang, slur words, debase the imperial tongue, catchphrases, etc. Not many people play halflings because, you know. But, let's see what else we've got here. So you'd pick one of the 4 major races here, and we'll just go with human to keep it simple. So I've got my sheet here. No career yet. Race, human. This is our example character sheet. Just going to call him John. Back to the PDF. So we've got our race. Now we go to characteristics. Now, secondary profile characteristics usually going to be the same across the board depending on what your race is. So each race generates characteristics differently. Here you've got your main profile characteristics, which are weapon skill, ballistic skill, strength, toughness, agility, intelligence, willpower, and fellowship. Each one represents different things. When you're playing the game, you know, you're going to roll from these primary main profile characteristics for any one of your skills. Secondary profile characteristics, number of attacks you can make within 10 seconds, which is a turn. The amount of wounds you can sustain before being critically injured, your strength bonus, which determines the damage you do in melee combat, your toughness bonus, which is used to resist damage, your movement, your magic, if it applies, insanity points, and fate points. You usually don't start with insanity points unless you're making up some goofy concept. Fate points you will start with. So, characteristics. Let's go with humans here. So you can see, right over here, humans. Bog standard across the board. 20 plus 2d10 for all of the major stats. 1 attack. 4 movement. And they roll for wounds and fate points. Strength bonus and toughness bonus are derived from your strength and toughness characteristics. You take every multiple of 10 increases your strength or toughness bonus by 1. So if you have 30 strength, you have a strength bonus of 3, and that would apply to all of your melee attacks. So we'll go ahead and we'll roll up a human. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right? So I'm going to roll 2d10 plus 20 8 times. So slash roll 2d10 plus 20. 5, 6, 7, 8. So, not the greatest of rolls. Pretty average character. But that's how it goes sometimes. And so, with that, after rolling up characteristics, you can do it a couple different ways. Some people just apply them from top to bottom, so if whatever they roll first, it's weapon skill, then the next one's ballistic skill, etc. You just roll all the way down. I like to allow my players to put their whatever they roll into whatever skills that they want them to be in. So, like, say my highest roll here was a 34, I think. So if I want a 34 in weapon skill, I'll just put it in there. Another thing to keep in mind is Shalia's Mercy. Shalia's Mercy is a useful little rule to help out with characters. You basically take the average of 2d10 and add it to whatever skill is, whatever characteristic is lower. I'm sorry. So say that would give you, for humans, that would give you a score of 31. So if you've got a score lower than 31, so it's 25. It's an optional rule, but if the GM's allowing it, turn that 25 into 31. Character looks a bit better. So we'll plug these in. So we'll use all these. So 34, we'll go 34 weapon skill. We want to make a guy who's not too bad. Fighting, so 33, 34, 33. We've got a decent amount of 31s. 31, 31. So that's all of those. I've got an additional 31 from Shall Use Mercy instead of 25. We'll do it in willpower because willpower is pretty important. Not worried about being smart. I've got a 32 I didn't use. 27 in ballistic skill. I might switch out a 32 for willpower and 31 fellowship. So, not the worst character. Pretty average. Not bad, but not great. Alright. So now we're going to generate some secondary characteristics, which are wounds and fate points. So you'll see human column here, D10. We're going to roll a D10 now. I rolled a 2. I'm going to get 10 wounds to start with. So on the sheet for roll 20, we'll make it larger because the information can get scrunched up. Wounds, starting wounds, 10. And plug it in there for the tokens. Alright, so I got 10 starting wounds, not very good. I'm literally one sword swing away from death with that, as most people will be. Starting fate points. Another D10 roll. Roll D10. Roll a 1. Not doing a very good character here. Humans, though, they're pretty lucky offhand compared to any other race, so they're going to get 2 starting fate points, even on the worst possible roll they could make. So fate points starting 2. Fortune 2. They're technically fortune points, I just got a habit of calling them fate. But they're called fate here, and they're called fortune other places, so bit of inconsistency there. So humans. Let's talk about racial features first. Racial features are unique to every race, obviously. You can look here and see all dwarfs get those talents. It's relating to, you know, their physiology or their traditions or any such things. Humans get Common Knowledge Empire, so we'll plug that in. It is trained. They get Gossip as a trained skill. And Speak Language Reichspiel. Okay, so plugged all those skills in, and now, here's what's cool about humans, they get 2 random talents from this random talent table. Halflings get 1, also. So humans, I'm going to roll 2d100 and re-roll duplicates. So 83 and 55, not going to be a duplicate, so what's 83 for humans? Suave. 55 is resistance to magic. So we would look those up. I'm not going to look them up right now. Suave, I believe, is a +5 to your fellowship, though, if I remember offhand. So Suave will plug in. +5 L F-E-L. And resistance to magic. I think it's a +10 to willpower to resist magical effects. Could be wrong though. So plug in. I see you see how you increase your main characteristics. You got your starting that you rolled for, and then talents from your career path that you roll, and then any advances you take from that career path. So this number, whenever you plug something in, will always match this number at its max. We'll explain more about that in a minute. Plug it in there, fellowship goes up by 5. So now, pretty good, pretty likable fellow for a starting character. So we're gonna roll down. Starting career. Everybody gets what I'm highlighting here. And so that is a common clothing consisting of a shirt, breeches, and worn boots, a tattered cloak, a dagger, a sling bag or a backpack containing a blanket, a wooden tankard, a wooden cutlery set, a hand weapon, and a purse holding 2d10 gold crowns. I'm not going to plug all of that in for inventory. Just remember that every single character gets that. You will not start this game without a hand weapon and a dagger, and a little bit of money, and stuff to eat food with. So, starting career. Now, one of the options that is offered is rolling for 2 different careers, and you can choose which one. You can do this a couple different ways. This depends on how you want to run it, but usually people roll once, take what they get, or roll twice, pick between the 2. So we've got here, starting career. So humans I'm looking at, and we're going to roll 1d100 and see what we get. That's a 42. What is a 42 for humans? A messenger. So we go down. We'll plug all that. And this is all stuff you can roll for physical features. I'm not going to bother with that. Names. But you can see it's very in-depth. You can roll for names, birthplaces, star signs. Star sign can have an effect on things. Your age and years. All this. You can roll for quite a bit. And this can all affect roleplay as this information is communicated to your GM. So, it can be worth rolling up, absolutely. So we'll just go down and we'll find the messenger career. There it is. So look at this career here, and on roll 20, on the sheet, you can actually plug this in. So we will do so on the career tab here, in the character sheet. And let's take a look at the main profile advances. So, look at main profile advances. This is how much you can increase each one of those stats over the course of your career. If there's no value here, you cannot increase it in this career. You'd have to advance out of this career. So, to start with, you get your skills, talents, and trappings. You also get a free advance to your main or secondary profile. So, we'll plug all this in first, and then we'll worry about that. So we'll plug in the main profile. 5, 5, 5, 10, 5, 5. Okay, so 5, 10, 5, 5. No magic. Wounds 2. Career skills and talents. You can plug that stuff in if you want, but you're going to plug it into your core stats anyway. So I'll plug in the skills here. Animal care. Pretty good skill. Starting out. Not very good at it. Common knowledge. Empire. If I get duplicates over the course of it, I like to double up and just go up to 10% on it. So if you get duplicates between, if you get duplicates with skills anywhere in the character creation process, easy way of resolving that is to either offer a different similar skill, or just give him a 10% training bonus to the skill itself. I like to do the second option. In this case, though, you could take Common Knowledge, the Wasteland. So maybe we'll do that instead. Knowledge, the Wasteland. There you go. Gossip, or Gossip, so... If your player wanted to pick one of the ones that would be a duplicate, just give them the 10%. Not going to have a huge bearing. Navigation. Pretty good. Outdoor survival. Unfortunately, we're not very smart. So this isn't a huge benefit to us. Secret Signs Scout is... Secret Signs Scout. Perception. Ride. Speak language Reichspiel. Double that one up. And swim. Talents, orientation, seasoned traveler. I'm not going to look those up right now. We'll plug them in. Trappings, light armor, leather jacket, map case, riding horse, and a shield. So you start out with your hand weapon that everyone starts with and a shield. So not a bad start for messengers. They're not great combatants, but they start out with some pretty good gear, and starting off on horseback, I mean, that's more wounds for you to deal with. So messenger actually not a bad career to get into. Just we kind of gimped ourselves at character creation, and there's only so much you can do to mitigate that. Sometimes in Warhammer you will roll up a bad character, and it just happens, and you just got to roll with it and try to have fun with it. That's sort of the... It can be an appeal or it can be a negative. It depends on how you look at things. So we'll go back up where we were a minute ago, a bit further back than that. Racial features, we already did that. So free advance. So you're not an absolute beginner, as it says. You can give yourself a free advance, which is a 5% increase to a characteristic on your main profile, or an increase of 1 to a characteristic on your secondary profile. Well, let's see what we can do here. So, our options. So for things like strength and toughness, if you can get them up by by 10, it's a good investment because you get an additional. If you do it for strength, you get an additional point of damage every time you hit someone because weapons go off your strength bonus. If you get into toughness, you decrease an additional point of damage when you take hits, which can help you stay alive longer. We don't really have anything we could go for that's going to put us over that. We can get started for toughness, and our next advance would do it, but we might not advance in toughness for a while. So I think one of the best investments you can make is either in this particular career, because so many things are tied to intelligence for a messenger, we might just take the 5% increase to intelligence. So now we've got basically a 1 in 3 chance instead of a 1 in 4 chance of succeeding with all of our int rolls. Or they just go up substantially. If you like Reichspiel, it's almost a 50% chance. You will not use these very often, but they could come in handy from time to time if you're creative. This will be important. Anything int-based like this can be pretty good if you use it creatively. So that's our free advance, and then the rest of it is just rolling for... it's coming up with things on your own, and then rolling for any kind of physical characteristics that you want. So if you're having trouble defining stuff, then you can roll for it down here on PDF page 26. But this is all just stuff that you would ask yourself, like, what is my family like? What is private possession? What is character like? So that's more character definition. But that's pretty much it for creating a character. On Roll20, obviously, you'd want to get some nice character art. We'd fill out their weapons and our armor and inventory, and we'd probably have to make a separate sheet for the horse. It's a riding pony. But that's the gist of it. So play around with that, make some characters on your own. It's the best way to figure things out. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Take care.